Hey, what's happening? What's popping, everybody? Today, I've been seeing a lot of people's opinions on their top 30 competitive Pokemon players in League formats, and even top fives. But yeah, so I'm gonna be doing my top five. I'm gonna have some honorable mentions. I'm not gonna be included myself in the top five, but for those who are wondering, I will be kind of showing some of my stats for those who are curious and know where I, stand. So some of the things that I want to list off are things that I'm going to be looking for on my list, and some of the things are going to be, their high win ratio, to make sure you win the games. Um, the experience is very important because everybody will get better in league format no matter if they win or lose. The more games they play in league format, because there's still so much of a meta to learn. So how many league championships is very important too, because if you can win the finals, competitive leagues, then nobody can really stop you. So some of the guys that make the list definitely have some pretty good rings behind them, and then the level of play. So if we look, at some of my success, I haven't faced the caliber of um, players consecutively as some of these guys. Now I have faced a lot of good players. Um, I think I faced actually most of these players on the top five and honorables, probably about half of them. But um, I've played a couple very good players, but on the long span, it's not as impressive as some of the other guys. But I do have a 75 win rate, so I'm about like 59 and 16. This is also including my playoff wins. I have 5 championships, and which is pretty good. And I have came third out of 96 in the Summer Showdown tournament. So that is a tournament that the Token Minorities does once a year. I know the March Madness is the other tournament they host too. So those, kind of, I mean, I kind of participated in other tournaments, did pretty good in other tournaments, but these are kind of like the basics of my league format history. So some of the honorable mentions here are guys like Trev the King, Monotui, the Verd, Pokeaim, Tugavor, K to the 2. So Pokeaim, I know that's the first name that kind of shoots out of the list, because he's the GOAT, the ladder player of all, one of the best of all time, if not the best, like ladder player slash kind of tournament player. I mean, his tournament play isn't as good as far as big tours and stuff like that, but still very very impressive. But he hasn't made the list because he's only won one league. He doesn't have the experience as these other guys do. And the level of play is extremely low, being the UCL, where that's probably one of the least uh, I mean, caliber of play is very, very poor there. But you guys also have guys like K to the 2, who had a lot of success in the NPL in the early days. You got Togavor, who's currently rocking in the NPL, and other leagues like the CPC, and one other league I don't know the name of off the top of my head, but always a very good player in the NPL. You got the Verd, who's been around for quite a while now, kind of messing around in a whole bunch of leagues. I know he might have actually been a part of like 10 different leagues. If I this is simply guessing, but yeah, he's definitely played in a lot of leagues. Monotui, same deal. I think Monotui and Verd are like some, to my knowledge, are like played like the most leagues out of everybody that I know. And then you got Trev the King. Actually, Trev the King could make top five, but I'm gonna have a little bit of reasoning why he just barely missed the number five spot. But unlike the rest of the guys, to my knowledge, he has won. Trev the King has won 2 titles, which definitely you would think that would make top five, but I'm going to be going over why the number five spot actually goes to the Token Minorities. So he has not won a finals, but the the NPL 2 seasons ago. In my opinion, he was the better player, being Jolt, and I honestly think that Jolt should have won that finals, as many of you guys do also, if you guys are fans of the NPL. He has a 75% win rate, which is very good, and the competition of play, I'm pretty sure, is just the NPL and the MPL, which is, I mean, all right. I'm talking about MPLs, like, all right, but the NPL is very, very good players. 75 win rate is very good, and in my eyes, he's got a ring, so very scary opponent to face. But some of the problems with Jolt, something that I notice is that he favors the bulky play style. I don't think I've ever actually seen him use HO in my life, and not even on the ladder. But that's only something to consider because if you're gonna be facing like the best of the best, and you only can really play one kind of play style on a regular basis, then you can kind of be manipulated versus the best of the best. But you know how to use the bulky offense to stall the balance, and occasionally Darmanitan offense. But yeah, I mean, you're still a very, very good player and come up with some scary tactics at times. So you definitely make the top five list in my eyes. So number four, we got Shoddy, very good player. I love watching his content. He makes good videos. As you know, most of you guys have already checked him out. So check out Shoddy, very good player. And Shoddy, the thing with him is that he can pull some really tricky things out of his sleeve. That's one of the reasons why I like enjoying his content is that I learn a lot from this guy. So he's got a 75 win rate. So all these guys, me, Joel, Shoddy, the next guy that you're gonna see, they're all about like 75 win rate. So when looking at the best of the best, they have to have somewhere in the ballpark. They can't be too far off of the 75 mark to really be considered a top five in league formats in my eyes. So the other qualification that Shoddy has, he actually was in the PPL final, and the caliber of play, being the GPC and the PPL, are all very good players. Um, so he has that going for him, and the finals of March Madness, he was faced against George, and Trick Room Gardevoir ended up sneaking up on him. It would have snuck up on me too. It looked like Trakan would have swept late game, but Tricky Gardevoir is a thing. Trick Room Gardevoir. But yeah, Shoddy, very good player. I really don't know how he can really get to the next level other than just winning his finals matches, which, as obviously he's trying to win them, but as soon as he wins those finals matches, he could really get the ball rolling with that. So at number three, we have George from the GBA, and in my eyes, he really separated himself from a lot of the GBA players, and I think he's like far beyond any other GBA player, especially when you look at the qualifications of my list. The thing that makes George a lot better than guys like Chimpact and Envy is Chimpact and Envy are a lot better, in my eyes, on the things like the ladder, or even Smogon tournaments. I know Chimpact, yeah, did some way back in the day. But if we look at George's stats, he has 75% win rate. He was the winner of the March Madness tournament and also the winner of the GBA Season 6, which is his recent accomplishment. So he's been seen a lot in the GBA and the GBA D League. He was also in the PPL, I believe. I'm not sure if he's still doing that. So um, for the most part, George has been involved in a lot of minor leagues as well as the major of the home dog GBA, as all of us know pretty much the GBA. That's like the homelands there. But yeah, I mean, Septile MC. If I had to give him a little bit of flack, it would actually be his battling, because the guy can prep so well, and the teams that he drafts aren't like the best drafts of all time, but They definitely fit his play style most, which is the most important thing you should do when drafting your team is having a team that fits you. But the thing that really made him win this GBA season is that he was smart enough to make the right transactions at the right time and get the right mons, and totally had a broken team with Manaphy and Mamoswine and Nidoqueen and in the rest of the goons. But yeah, definitely a very, very good player. But it is because of his battling skills. I don't see him being on the same level as these next two guys, as simply his building is not going to be good enough to beat these two guys on a regular basis. Now George can sneak a win here, win there against these guys, but he's not going to consecutively win versus guys like Matty Brawlick. So the thing with Matty Brawlick is that in on paper he really shouldn't even be. He should only be on the honorable mentions for simply his win rate, because if you look at his stats, he's only on his second season of the NPL and he's currently in the CPC, so that's not really that much exposure when you really think about it. When you really think about the amount of leagues that the rest of the guys here have done, um, it still is kind of new, and he hasn't necessarily won or even made it to a finals match, so that's somewhat concerning. But the reason why he's at number two is that he was, very, very impressive in the NPL. As we all know, 80% win rate in the NPL is extremely, extremely good. And in my eyes, he was the best regular season coach in the NPL. Now, Gypsy did end up winning it all, but I do think that Maddie, for the most part, was definitely the better regular season coach. And the only, the separator was that Gypsy did beat Maddie in a very, very close match in the regular season. So, between those two guys, it's always a tough game either way, and it just comes down to, either damage rolls or just comes down to the wire in those types of games. But Maddie's he's just too good not to put at number two. But as soon as Maddie starts winning some final games, he can definitely make it to number one without a problem. But we all know who's number one: the goat, the legend, the god. Not Rizzy Powell, unfortunately, but Rizzy Powell should be number one in my heart. But yeah, we got Gypsy King sitting here at number one. He's got a win rate of 90%, which is absolutely nuts. And it kind of also shows like the best of us do lose. Like, I have a lot more losses than him, but like, it shows like you can lose to battlers that are not at the same caliber, but it's still crazy that he's been able to win as much as him, and he has a lot of really good qualifications too, being winning four titles, being the CFA, NPL, and two other leagues that I am unaware of currently right now. He was top 8 in the um, Summer Showdown tournament that happened a couple months ago, and he was, I believe, top 16 in the Summer Showdown, or top 8. I just know he lost to Rizzy Powell, the God, who should be really the real number one. But I mean, Gypsy, he ain't no Rizzy Powell. But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed my list. I included, in my opinion, the best guys. So if you guys have any one of these guys don't compare to maybe somebody else, for example, guys like me and Gypsy were, a couple months ago to like a half a year ago, were like not really recognized in league format, and now we're seen as big time threats, as every single tournament or every couple of months there are new stars that pop out of the woodwork. So if you guys know of anybody who's definitely worthy of honorable mentions or even a top five, let me know, and hopefully they can enter a tournament so we can really see how they shine. As there are, in my opinion, there are just not enough good league players as there could be. Now there are a lot of good league players, but the amount of like godlike players there are on smog tours and stuff like that. They're if some of the smog tour guys hit the league play, like it can get fun really fast. But you got to learn how to build, you got to learn how to draft, you got to learn how to counter team. There's a lot of aspects to it that a lot of the Smogon players can't really adjust themselves to. So that's kind of the reason why they haven't made the transaction. And also, unfortunately, the biggest PokeTubers are like complete garbage at Pokemon, so that doesn't really help the cause. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is my opinion of the top 5 league players. And if you guys have anybody, give them a shout out in the comment section below. And until next time, I'm signing out, everybody. Peace.